The United Kingdom is set to host its first ever Dota 2 major event in Birmingham this week. ESL1 Birmingham, powered by Intel, which features the top 12 teams from around the world competing for their share of $1 million. But more importantly, the 1,500 DPC points to earn their invite for the International 2018. Now, it's not just the players that can make some money, us punters can too, especially with the help of Team Bankroll's esports betting pro, Adam Boothe. Adam, thank you for joining us today. So far, so good. You've only done a few videos, but you're already in profit. So, hey, welcome to the team and good job.
Yeah, it was a great first week with two prominent CSGO tournaments kicking off over the weekend and early last week. Over the course of the week, we made about just over a unit a day. We cashed in on two futures bets, both in Pro League and DreamHack. So yeah, great start, and hopefully we can continue this over the long term.
Yeah, definitely. First for the UK, very cool indeed, especially as that's where I come from. What does that mean for esports, for Dota 2? Why are we seeing the first major Dota 2 event in the UK now?
That's a good question, especially because although video games are popular with the young, well, my generation and the 20-somethings, Dota specifically isn't hugely popular. However, Valve, which is the game creator and developer, they set aside money for these major tournaments with the idea of promoting their games in areas that maybe aren't used to having big tournaments, or where they'd like to see the game community grow. So although historically Dota wasn't well known in the UK, it's about time.
Yeah, it is about time. I was thinking as well, when you see these stadiums with them competing with these video games, it is quite a setup. Like the money that's behind just setting up a sort of a big tournament like this must be incredible. Have you been to any live tournaments yet?
Yeah, actually, funny enough, I put on my orange hat. This is a hat I got last June in London from it's called the ECS Counter-Strike Global Offensive Tournament, and that was my first big one to attend. Huge prize pool, very exciting. Beer on tap, and it was a nice weekend. So yeah, they are great events. The prize pools are phenomenal, and you just get a great vibe in there, just like any other sporting event.
Yeah, I bet. Now, what was I going to say? Obviously, you're based in England, but judging by your accent, they would think you're from across the pond, but you're in England right now. You didn't want to go to this tournament? Like, what sort of price are the tickets to go to one of these things?
Well, the price ranges. They're very reasonable, though. I didn't actually check the Birmingham tickets, but the ones we got last summer were, I think, in the £25 range, I believe, but very reasonable for a whole weekend of excellent esports competition. You might not think it if you're new to video games. You'd be like, I'm not going to pay money to watch someone else play a video game. However, if you've played the video game, you think this is money well spent. It's very exciting action.
Yeah, well, listen, if there was one around the corner for me, I would definitely be going because it looks super exciting. Now, 12 of the biggest names in esports will be competing. 6 through direct invitation, while the other 6 qualified regionally. This differs from the past majors, which saw 16 teams competing. Why is that?
Well, I'm not sure how the rules came down, but it was determined that majors from now on were going to host 12 teams as opposed to 16, maybe to make it more competitive, maybe to limit the length of duration of these tournaments. You have to keep in mind that while Counter-Strike only gets 2 majors per year, Dota gets 3 plus their huge event called the Invitational. So Dota is packed with these multi-million-dollar tournaments every year. So only having 12 teams isn't so much of a big deal if a team gets to attend 2 or 3 of these a year. So that is going to mean that competition is stiffer between those 12 teams. They're all internationally known, quality talent.
Yeah. Well, I suppose it also means as well that there's less tournament picks. Would you say that's good or that's bad? Is it sort of better that maybe it narrows it down, there's less option, or is it bad?
I think from a strictly a betting perspective, that's a good thing. When we look at NFL games as the playoffs roll around, odds makers have a very small selection of games. They're going to be very sharp in setting prices. We don't see that when there's fewer games in esports. Yes, they're still going to be paying attention. They're probably going to correctly set the favorites where they should be. However, it means we have fewer teams to kind of keep track of, and we'll know the value more easily when we see it. So I would say, from a betting perspective, this is a good thing, and we can hit maybe more precisely over the course of the week.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking it would maybe be good in the long run. But anyway, the group stage will be played on May 23rd and 24th. So there's three groups, four teams in each, with only two advancing from each group. So basically, the playing field will be halved. Which is the toughest group and which teams have it easy?
The group of death, I would say, in this tournament is Group A.
Yeah.
You've got Virtus Pro as the clear favorites, just tournament in and out. I mean, if you look at any tournament futures throughout 2018, Virtus Pro is the favorite. So with that team locking up most likely a spot to move out, that means the other two teams, Fnatic and Evil Geniuses, are going to be fighting tooth and nail. One thing that should be noted just before we move into the groups, the Invitational every year, it invites 8 teams directly. Now, in order to get those invites, the organizations need to attain a certain level of points. There's 5 teams competing this weekend that need points to try and earn that spot. Now, 2 of those teams are in Group A, in Fnatic and Evil Geniuses. So the odds have been set at almost a 50-50 pick 'em here. It's hard to find an edge. Fnatic beat Evil Geniuses just a month ago in a best of one. It's hard to read too much into that because it is just a best of one. They drafted their heroes very well, and yet Evil Geniuses historically has beat Fnatic many times with different lineups. But you can't just say there's value on Fnatic as an underdog here because it's a pick 'em. It's not like we're getting 3.0 odds on Fnatic
Yeah.
to upset Evil Geniuses. So I would say that's the group of death. Virtus Pro will be moving through, and then it's going to be between Fnatic and EG to fight for that second spot.
Yeah, I thought Group B as well looked. You've got Team Liquid and Vichy Gaming both in Group D, both also favourites to win the tournament. Obviously behind Virtus Pro. Per Virtus Pro round you can get like 3.57. So Group B. Group C though looks the easiest group. Who do you see advancing from Group C?
Well, Group C is a funny one. It's mostly Chinese and Southeast Asian teams there, and they are just the most hot and cold teams. Meniski won a big tournament in April, and you'd think, okay, this is a breakout squad. They're going to continue to have consistent results. Haven't shown much since. Newbie had a good 2017, and again, this is an all-star lineup. They are meant for winning tournaments, but they look subpar recently. So Group C for me is it's a toss-up. I don't feel too comfortable laying money. I do think there's value when we talk about teams to win their group. I just want to quickly talk. I think Team Liquid in Group B is a great pick to win their group. You can get basically even odds or 1.9 at some books. Group C, I would still say Meniski should be given the respect to win that group because we haven't seen Newbie really show that they're capable of definitely taking it. So I will be laying a unit with Team Liquid to win Group B and Meniski to win Group C.
Yeah, yeah. Where did you get the odds for? I was looking for group odds. Maybe have they just come out? Where did you find them?
Yeah, esports is a tricky thing because they don't really have the priority at a lot of books. The only two books I saw group winners today was at Bet365 and at Bet at Home. But I know that within 12 hours of the tournament kicking off, so late tonight, early morning tomorrow, we will see more reputable B and A and B rated books posting future lines.
Yeah. Now, one obviously we've been doing these videos now just for a short while, but one of the things that I am feeling, starting to gather from this, is that the favourites are the ones to back. It seems that bookies have priced them well. There's little upset as a general rule of thumb. The favourites to win are, you got Virtus Pro 3.57, Team Liquid 4.18, and then Vici Gaming 6.3. Who would get your money right now to win, or are you looking more to reach the final market at this stage of the competition?
I'm undecided at the moment, and here's why. Virtus Pro is, as I said earlier, it's a consistent, good bet for a team that's going to go far into the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But they're losing to teams that are either more desperate or don't respect them as teams did in 2017. Meaning, Virtus Pro has a reputation for being, the cocky or maybe just overconfident team, and they won't necessarily be as prepared in the later stages as some of these teams that are desperate for locking up points for the TI Invitational tournament. So, although you could say VP is a good pick, I think they're not. I don't think they're going to do it. I think one of the desperate teams, either a a Vici or a Meniski, I think we're going to see them in the finals, and I think you can find good value on those teams making it. But again, it's hard to single out just one because of the inconsistent results. The Dota 2 competitive scene is just um, it's teams getting hot during the tournament and taking it at that time. It's hard to say. You don't have consistent winners from one tournament to another, which can be very different than Counter Strike, because you'll see the same teams always in the finals, the semifinals. So at the moment, I haven't laid a unit on any team to straight up take the trophy, but I do think one of the Asian or Southeast Asian teams will have some value.
All right, fantastic. Make sure to follow Adam on Twitter, Lock, LOCKE, and then QWERTY, like the keyboard. Also, I did notice, so talking about lines and stuff that I saw on Sportsbooks, you've got prop bets and also some odds as well on the opening matches. Do you have any leans of those right now, or is that also something to follow you on Twitter as the tournament starts?
Well, as I said earlier, the day one matches that I think should be researched well. The Fnatic Evil Geniuses, I am looking at EG there because I still think they're the better lineup. But I've seen a lot of support for Fnatic, so I'll be tweeting out a pick for that one. Another match that I saw had value on day one was OG versus Vici Gaming. Now, we're seeing OG at roughly a 3.0, 3.2 price. They are not that bad. This game is a lot closer, and it's a best of one, meaning if OG comes in well prepared for Vici, they can take it. It's not a big underdog. OG has made some changes recently. We saw them perform a bit better in April, so I'll be looking at maybe an OG pick there. And the other pick that I was liking, we talked last week about maybe a parlay between some heavy favorites. I'm looking at taking VP, Team Liquid, and Meniski in those opening round of matches parlayed at, I think it was a 1.8, 1.9. I don't have the wager in front of me, but it was somewhere around there, and I think that they far outclass the teams that they're facing in the opening round. So I will tweet out that pick later tonight or tomorrow, but it's already placed.
All right, fantastic stuff. That was Adam Boothe. Again, follow him on Twitter, Lock E QWERTY, like the keyboards. And Adam, nice to have you on again. Best of luck with your bets, and see you next week.
Thanks so much. Have a good one.